CBS 21 News begins with breaking news.
Breaking news tonight in the shooting of two Pennsylvania state troopers in Franklin County. Tonight, we've learned the brave men's names and we've learned more about the man who opened fire as another Central PA community deals with the aftermath of violence against law enforcement.
This incident again highlights the unbelievable important role that police officers play in our society. The absolute brave nature of the actions that took place are something that we should be proud of as a society and a community.
State police just released the names of those brave troopers. Trooper Thomas Pack, who's 23, and Trooper Lucas Amarose, who is 31, both still recovering after being shot multiple times. Thank you for joining us live tonight. I'm Candace Scalise. We are here at 5 o'clock live outside of the WellSpan York Hospital, where Trooper Pack was released today after spending the night here. But Trooper Amarose is still in the hospital behind me recovering after multiple surgeries today. We have team coverage tonight. We have Andrew Klein, who is joining us from Chambersburg tonight at the State Police Barracks, where they just gave us an update on what exactly happened and as we learn more information about both of these brave men. Andrew.
Hey Candace, good evening. Yeah, we just heard from Pennsylvania State Police as well as the Franklin County District Attorney. We know that this incident happened about 25 minutes from where I'm standing right now in Antrim Township, but it all stemmed from a Dick's Sporting Goods alleged retail theft about 10 minutes from where I am. That is in Chambersburg. According to the affidavit for one of the people involved, we know two females and one male entered the Dick's Sporting Goods store in Guilford Township around 6:04 p.m. Troopers say security footage shows the two women adding multiple clothing items to a shopping cart, and moments later they are seen meeting up with a man. That man is Lamar Foy. Upon meeting back up with Foy, they say he adds items to the shopping cart before taking the cart past the checkout area and pushing it out of the store at approximately 6:11 p.m., followed by those two females. The three of them then got into a green van and drove off with the stolen merchandise. According to court documents, two state troopers were dispatched to the Dick's Sporting Goods at around 6:14 p.m., where they are told about the alleged robbery and began looking for the van. The two troopers then located the van minutes later, promptly turned on their lights and signals, but the driver, Lamar Foy, did not yield, and a police chase ensued. Then helped by multiple other state troopers, and one of the police cars was able to deploy a tire deflation device which stopped the van. The two women in the van were then arrested. They are currently facing multiple charges, including retail theft and drug possession. Foy, the driver, then engaged in gunfire with the officers, shooting and injuring two before he was shot and killed by other troopers.
I am confident that the troopers' use of force in this case was 100% justified. There's no question in my mind. The video and evidence in this case is clear and decisive. Foy fired a handgun at law enforcement officers multiple times, which resulted in two troopers getting struck multiple times.
And officials also credited the use of tourniquets and first aid trauma kits, as well as a doctor, an off-duty doctor who stopped by to help out however he could when he saw the scene. Back to you.
Andrew, thank you for that play-by-play of what exactly happened last night. Now we're learning a little bit more about who both of these troopers are. Starting with Trooper Thomas Pack. He just became a state trooper less than a year ago, graduating from the academy back in December. He was among 62 graduates in this photo who graduated after a 27-week training course. The other trooper who was injured, Lucas Amarose, enlisted back in 2017. He was a Wilkes University grad with a degree in criminology. Amarose was also an offensive lineman for the university's football team. State police say he's married, and we're continuing to learn more about how he is recovering right now. So you can stay with us at CBS21.com as we're staying on top of that story. Today, we also learned a lot more information about the man who shot these two troopers and who was killed in that shootout. We learned he has a pretty extensive criminal history dating back to 2011. Most of these crimes happening in Maryland. And according to court records that we got our hands on today, a warrant was filed after he failed to appear in court on drug charges. Talking about 31-year-old Lamar Foy of Maryland. No, he didn't appear in court on those drug charges back in July. Prior to that this year, Foy was accused of arson and aggravated assault. And then in 2017, where this mugshot is from, Foy was charged with concealing a dangerous weapon. In 2011, according to the Baltimore Sun, he was charged with attempted homicide in Maryland. So that's more about who the shooter in this case was. Now, we are told that the trio got away with more than $1,000 of goods from the Dick's Sporting Goods. And so officials say this was not an isolated incident and that they believe this was actually part of a larger crime ring. And so today we reached out to the Attorney General's office, Dave Sunday, to ask him a little bit more about if the women who are accused in this case, those two 21-year-olds from Baltimore, Maryland, are they on their radar? Because the AG says a big priority of his has been investigating and stopping crime theft rings like that. And he says these people are simply just taking advantage of Pennsylvanians.
The people that are doing it, a lot of them are local. Some of them may come from other states. But it's important to recognize a lot of the individuals that are doing this, like the ones that are actually going into the stores, they may have mental health issues. They may have severe addiction issues. And sophisticated criminals are really taking advantage of these individuals and using them to do these smash and grabs so that other people can make money off of it.
Now, the Attorney General says his office has an organized retail theft unit that focuses on similar cases. And right now they're working with law enforcement across the country in order to nab those theft rings. Now, it's a little bit loud out here in front of the WellSpan York Hospital. We have helicopters that are landing on the pad behind me at the hospital. We have a lot of traffic going on. So just bear with me as we are anchoring live. It might be a little bit noisy around me right now. But I do want to talk about what else has happened this year. 2025 has been really tough for law enforcement across Central PA. This is just the latest incident involving some of our very own and violence against our brave men and women who put on that badge every day. It was just February of this year when West York police officer Andrew Dorte was shot and killed in the line of duty. He was killed at the UPMC Memorial Hospital in York County while responding to an active shooter alert. Several other police officers were also injured in that shooting. And just weeks ago in North Cador's Township, 3 Northern York County Regional Police detectives were killed in an ambush. They were going to serve a warrant at a farmhouse when a man opened fire from inside. Detective Sergeant Cody Becker and detectives Mark Baker and Isaiah Emmenheiser both killed in that shooting. Another detective and a York County Sheriff's lieutenant were also injured. We learned yesterday that lieutenant is recovering and learning how to walk again. We're going to stay up to date on this latest investigation as these 2 state troopers recover. We have continuing coverage, though, of all of these incidents and the latest information from today's press conference about that shooting last night on CBS21.com. In 10 minutes, we're also going to talk to Yasmin Cowan. She is returning to the scene and hearing from the community about everything that transpired last night. In the meantime, Alex Thill is holding down the anchor desk. So, Alex, I'm going to send things back to you inside.
Thanks, Candice. Well, we're getting a live look right now over Harrisburg, where it's starting to feel more like fall outside. It's been a beautiful day in the capital region with the sun shining. Meteorologist Brian Schroeder is filling in for Tom tonight and has a look at what's coming.
Hey everybody, it was a beautiful day, but with clear skies, light winds tonight, you can see freeze warnings in purple, frost advisories in light blue. The entire area is under either that freeze warning or a frost advisory. So if you want your plants around by tomorrow morning, bring them in overnight or cover your gardens tonight because it's going to get cold. Temperatures aren't too bad this afternoon. We're in the 50s and 60s. You can see 59 degrees in Shippensburg, 62 degrees in Harrisburg. We have Reading at 62 degrees. But as you plan your evening, clear skies, diminishing winds, temperatures are going to drop off pretty quickly. You can see 60 degrees at 7 o'clock, 57 degrees by 8 o'clock, and by 9 o'clock, we're at 51 degrees. Temperatures tonight dropping down to around freezing. I'll have that for you coming up in your complete forecast.
Here's a look at the roads from the Exterior Company Traffic Alert Center.
Well, I want to bring your attention to a crash in Dauphin County. This is on I-81 southbound. The shoulder was closed, but it looks to be open now. 511 PA is reporting this happened around 4:20 this afternoon and should be cleared up by 6, they say. But as always, that could potentially change, so we will keep an eye on that for you and potentially look at alternative routes if that is necessary. Otherwise, everything is looking clear at your Capitol Beltway, and that is a CBS 21 traffic report. New tonight, lawmakers here at the state capitol are getting ready to introduce a bill that they say would decriminalize homelessness. Lancaster County Democrat Ishmael Smith-Wade-El is among those leading the charge. He says they came up with the idea following a Supreme Court ruling that allowed cities to charge homeless people with trespassing. The representative says by focusing on helping the unhoused, the state would save money on incarceration.
I really think that our legislation is designed to move the whole conversation on a path to what are the services we can provide people to get them back into housing or a home or into shelter.
If passed, the lawmaker says it would require municipalities to provide adequate indoor spaces for unhoused folks before it could enforce any ordinance that criminalizes living outside. And recently, we got the chance to speak with the people who were forced to leave what was known as 10. CBS 21 News documentary, we're showing you exactly what life was like in there before people were forced to leave for a PennDOT project. Here's a sneak peek.
These are my people, man. I protect them from you and themselves.
Never been homeless before.
The drug situation is just what, out of hate?
You know what the upside down American flag means? International Code of Distress. Because I am in distress.
Anybody could be like this tomorrow. Seriously. It could happen to you, me.
I don't think anyone down here really has a voice.
I want to be left alone in peace. I've served, I did my door duty. Let me have peace.
But they're breaking up our little community that we did form.
I hear that, the homeless are preying on the homeless.
Everybody down here is not a mental patient. We're all not drug addicts. We're all not alcoholics. We just choose to be away from people.
They say the day of they're going to arrest people. I don't want to get arrested.
I came down here to help people if I could. Came here to get peace for myself. And it's all worked out fine until now. What I'm doing is to prove a point that you can't win if you don't give up. I'm not giving up. For what? What is my alternative? I give up and move to a parking lot. No, we're not doing that.
And if you would like to see the full documentary, you can scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen that popped up just there, or head over to the CBS 21 YouTube page. And state police in Lebanon say they've arrested a man who had dozens of counterfeit designer watches and was wanted in connection with the shooting in Pittsburgh. Troopers say they arrested Kahim Sturdivant after pulling over a vehicle speeding on Interstate 78 earlier this week. According to charging documents, he was a passenger in the vehicle, and troopers say he had dozens of counterfeit Rolex, Cartier, and Artemis watches. He's facing multiple counterfeit charges, along with attempted homicide for the shooting in Pittsburgh. And the closing of a popular brewery has many wondering what to do with their gift cards. The Attorney General has a solution. Find out what he's suggesting people do after the break. The PA Attorney General is offering guidance to people who have gift cards to the abruptly closed Iron Hill Brewery. AG Dave Sunday is advising people to dispute purchases on unused gift cards with their credit card company. And he says you should also file a complaint with the AG's Bureau of Consumer Protection. Iron Hill recently closed all of its locations after declaring bankruptcy. And 101 days and counting, Pennsylvanians are still waiting for a state budget. But it doesn't appear to be impacting the governor that much. How Pennsylvanians are viewing the governor in the latest poll numbers.
Welcome back to York County. I'm Candace Scalise. We are live outside the WellSpan York Hospital where Trooper Lucas Amarose is recovering after being shot multiple times last night and undergoing multiple surgeries today. We also know State Trooper Thomas Pack has since been released from the hospital, but he is continuing to recover at home. All of this happened during a shootout in Franklin County last night. Our Yasmin Cowan was there on the scenes moments after when it was still active. Barricades were up, police were around. Yasmin, you're back there today. What's it look like now? How are people in the community responding to this shocking news?
Well, Candace, as you know, I was about a half mile down from where the shooting happened at Molly Pitcher Highway, the intersection, and Antrim Commons Drive. Well, right now, as you can see behind me, the scene has since cleared up. The roads are not shut down anymore. This is Route 11 here, so traffic is coming down smoothly. But as you know, it wasn't like this yesterday. I-81 south of exit 3 was shut down, so a lot of the cars had to veer off onto I-81 north. But I spoke to someone who works at Brothers Pizza just 2 minutes from the Greencastle Borough, from where the shooting happened, and listen to what he has to say about what he witnessed after the crossfire.
You saw someone was detained by the police, and my coworker Kim, she was a little shaken up after she driven past it. We were all kind of just shocked.
Yeah, and this witness says that his co-workers were shaken up and they were consoling each other because the aftermath was just shocking to them. And as you can see right now, everything is cleared up. So we know that the Franklin County District Attorney is investigating this shooting that happened yesterday. And we know that one of the officers is still at WellSpan York receiving treatment and another was just released today. In Franklin County, I'm Yasmin Cowan, CBS 21 News.
Yasmin, thank you. I know people in that community, it's always weird when something this sad and intense happens so close to home and close to where you work. We're going to continue on this story in our next half hour. Yasmin Cowan and Andrew Klein both giving us live reports as we continue to get new information. And so stay with us for that in the next 30 minutes. In the meantime, let's check out your local weather.